Hey, welcome back to the Big Rand Show here on Patreon. I had made a video last week over on the YouTube channel about Sri Lanka and the bombing that took place there. Of course, because it wasn't advertiser friendly, it didn't get much circulation. No one really watched it. Only about 23 people. But I figured here for Patreon, I would discuss a little more information that has come out since that video went out. And so let's get to it. Of course, back on Easter Sunday, there was an attack in Sri Lanka of 4 different locations within Sri Lanka throughout the day were bombed. They were all people enjoying either Easter breakfast, Easter services, or something involving, the Christian faith. And there were suicide bombers at each of them, apparently. But here's some of the information that's come out since then. As you probably know, the death toll is right around 300 innocent men, women, and children who were just enjoying their Easter services or Easter breakfast or whatever it was. Some 40 people have been arrested. And an offshoot of ISIS has claimed responsibility. Now, first off, let's talk about ISIS. Now, we were told a while back by our president, I was under this impression, and our president had said that ISIS was defeated. My argument was that ISIS will never be defeated, at least overall, through the globe, because of their reach. Their reach went far beyond their little caliphate they were trying to build. And 2, the Syrian army had said ISIS is still a threat to Syria. They are still there. They are still fighting them to this day. And then you find out that people that are attached to ISIS have vowed their allegiance to ISIS, have come up and said, oh, guess what? We blew people up. Now, what was their reasoning for blowing these people up? Killing innocent men, women, and children? Their argument is that because of the shooting at the mosque in New Zealand, these people deserve to die. It was supposedly retribution for the attacks in New Zealand. Have people not learned yet that you can't solve violence by creating more violence? It doesn't solve the problem. Have we not learned that since 9/11? Yes, we had to do what we had to get Osama bin Laden. But look at all the other Osama bin Ladens we may have created in the process. And that's exactly what we're having happen here. Some idiot decided to go shoot up a mosque in New Zealand. So now innocent children, men, women, and children, had to be murdered. How is that okay? It's not. And now here in the U.S., we have a guy who decided he would run down people in San Francisco because they looked Muslim. All violence does is create more violence. That is all it does. But like I said, 40 people have been arrested in connection with this. There's actually been reports that a raid on a home somewhere in Sri Lanka actually ended in the deaths of 15 more people. All associated with that Muslim extremist group that decided that they would bomb those churches. But the worst part of all of it, well, besides the attack itself, is the fact that it could have been prevented. The Sri Lankan authorities knew 10 days in advance the attacks were coming and did nothing to stop them. That is even worse than some of the other stuff that's gone on since then. But the fact is, they knew the names of at least one of the terrorists that blew themselves up at the Easter breakfast. At least one. They knew the name, location, everything about him. And they did nothing to stop it. They were warned by the people that were going to carry out the attack that the attack was coming. But because of the issues they have within their country, with the political tensions and stuff within their country, the information was never shared between different groups of people. So 300 people, roughly, are dead. So sadly, I don't see an end to this. I don't see how it ends in a positive manner. Because it's just going to be tit for tat. It's all it's going to be. Because people don't understand that all they're doing is creating more violence. Who's going to be the bigger person? Unfortunately, though, fundamentalists don't do that. They don't deal in that. They don't deal in being the better person. They deal in death and destruction. So I feel sorry for everyone involved. The families of those that were killed at those mosques in New Zealand. The attacks, the victims of the attacks in Sri Lanka. The victims that were injured in San Francisco. I don't believe anyone died there. As of yet, anyway, there's someone in critical condition. A 13-year-old. Nobody should die for the God they worship. Nobody should have to die because they worship one God versus another. One religion versus another. At the end of the day, we all come from the same one. God, Allah, same thing. Anyhow, thank you for joining me here for the Big Rant Show on Patreon. And I hope y'all are having a great day, a great weekend. And I'll see you down the road.